Hi all, today we are going to discuss about the LC filter. So we have already seen in our previous lectures the L filter and the C filter individually. We have seen the L filter because it offers the high impedance for the patches of high frequency components. It blocks the high frequency components, and the property of the capacitor is it allows the closed path or a short circuit for the high frequency components of current. So high frequency components of current will be bypassed through this capacitor. In this way, it can filter the harmonic currents from reaching your load. And removing this load component, we have seen that the output of the full wave bridge rectifier will be in this form. This is my output voltage which I am representing here by Vn. So out of this Vn, how much voltage will come across your load and what will be your load current? So that we are going to analyze now, how the LT filter is going to improve that one. So we have already analyzed the equation. This output waveform, that means this Vn can be represented as the sum of the DC component plus the AC components in this form using Fourier analysis. So this I have already discussed in my previous lecture, that is L filter. So if you have not watched that lecture, you can please go there. So check it, I have made the complete derivation there. I don't want to repeat it again here. So I have seen there that this equation can be written as a DC component. This is the second harmonic component, fourth harmonic components, and so on. These are the components. Odd harmonic components will not be there in your output. So now out of this circuit you can see there is a L, and this is having the parallel combination of C and your load impedance. So let us represent this load impedance. I am representing by ZNL because it may have the inductance also, because all our practical loads will have inductance along with the resistance. So again, the value of the inductance will depend on inductive reactance, depends on frequency. That's why I am representing with N. For DC, the inductance effect is 0. For AC component, its value will goes on increasing as the frequency is increasing. Getting it? So again, out of this voltage also we have seen the most dominating component will be the DC component and the second harmonic component only. Remaining components magnitude will goes on decaying gradually. So let us proceed further. In order that the capacitor provides the easy path for the harmonic components, that means whatever the harmonic current comes, I want that should be bypassed through this capacitor. Only DC current should approach through your load. That means only DC component should reach your load. That means this should act as a short circuit for all the higher order harmonic components, or we can tell that the reactance offered by that capacitor should be far less than the impedance of your load for a particular frequency component, so that that component will be completely bypassed through this XC. Or we can tell that the load impedance is far greater than XC. That load impedance I am representing by ZNL or ZL. This is far greater than XC is 1 by omega C. Omega is 2 pi F. So for nth harmonic, it will become 2 pi into n times of F, or we can tell as n omega C. This is n omega C. N omega means this n omega is equal to 2 pi into n times of F. You can write in this form. So this is the reason I have written here. Getting it? So now n is the order of the harmonic current. So in practice, the capacitor provides the effective filtering. Generally, that value of this load impedance is taken as equal to 10 by n times of omega C. That means load impedance is nearly taken as a 10 times the impedance of the capacitive reactance or offered by the capacitor for a particular frequency component. What is your load impedance? Your load impedance has the combination of resistance and reactance. So to avoid the confusion with this L, I am representing this as LL. So we can tell the load impedance is square root of R square plus n times of omega LL square is equal to 10 by n omega C. So let us take it as equation number 2. So as the value of the capacitive reactance is far less than the load impedance, so for making the harmonic analysis, I can neglect the load impedance because the entire harmonic current is nearly passing through the capacitor only, and whatever voltage is coming across the capacitor, same voltage will apply across your load. So that voltage divided by impedance of your load, that gives the current passing through your load. So now we can tell the nth harmonic current, that nth harmonic current will be equal to, because now this I can take as equivalent to the reactance L and the capacitance, because load impedance I am neglecting now. Only this is the component that is applied. So this is my value of Vn, and this one, this is my value of VON, output for the nth harmonic. Getting it? So now this IN, that means nth harmonic component that is passing, this is the RMS component, will be equal to nth harmonic voltage divided by That means nth harmonic voltage of this one RMS value divided by impedance. Impedance will be XL minus XC. What is XL? N omega L minus XC 1 by N omega C. I have not taken the angle because J also will be there, because this current will be lagging by appropriate angle. That means 90 degrees if XL is greater than XC, and it will lead by 90 degrees if XL is less than XC. It depends on that one. So now where this Vn is the RMS value of nth harmonic component of my voltage that is coming from your rectifier. So from this nth harmonic component of this RMS output voltage, that means VON. So this VON will be equal to this voltage multiplied by that impedance by total impedance. In the series combination, we know voltage across any impedance is voltage multiplied by that impedance by total impedance. So I have multiplied Vn multiplied by that impedance. That impedance is 1 by N omega C divided by total impedance is N omega L minus 1 by N omega C. So if you simplify this, you will get your answer as this one. As this is the RMS value component, so this minus I can neglect. So the negative sign I need not take, because RMS value will have the magnitude only. So now as the second harmonic is the most dominant in the output, we have seen in the last class. So ripple voltage can be taken only the second harmonic component only. Remaining values we can neglect. That means out of this Vn that is produced 2Vm by pi, this is DC component. This is my second harmonic component. This is fourth harmonic, etc. So out of this DC component is my useful one. So remaining all constitutes my ripple component of the voltage. Out of this I am only considering this component, that means 4Vm by 3 pi into cos 2 omega t. When this is applied, how your circuit will behave. So we can tell that ripple voltage will be nothing but equal to V02 will be equal to V2 multiplied by the value of the impedance. So impedance calculation we have seen. So Vn divided by N omega square LC minus 1, we have to take the value of V2. And from this equation we can calculate the RMS value of second harmonic component will be, this is the maximum value divided by root 2. I have divided by root 2. Now voltage ripple factor is the ratio of the ripple voltage by average voltage. What is my ripple voltage? Ripple voltage I have calculated as 4Vm by root 2 into 3 pi into 2 omega square LC minus 1 divided by DC component. So actually I want the DC component. What is the DC component? This is my DC component, 2Vm by pi. So this indicates the DC component. So this entire thing indicates the ripple component or the harmonic component. Getting it? So that's why I have represented. So when you simplify it, you will get this answer. So from this formula, for a given value of the voltage ripple factor, I can calculate my value of L and C. But here two unknown values are there. So if you at least you have to know one, then only you can calculate the second one. So out of these two, L and C, the C can be calculated from equation number 2 as C is equal to, in equation number 2 we have seen, generally the value of capacitive reactance is taken as 1 by 10 times of your load impedance. So that's why from that formula we got C is equal to 10 divided by 2 omega into square root of R square plus 2 omega LL square. So from this you calculate the value of the capacitance, then you substitute in this formula to get the unknown value of inductance. So in this way we can design the LC filter. So I am taking one example to clarify this concept. A single phase bridge rectifier has an input supply of 230 volts 50 Hz and a load resistance R is equal to 20 ohms and the load inductance L is equal to 5 millihenry. Design LC filter to limit the voltage ripple to 10%. So ripple should be limited to 10%. I have just reproduced the formulas here. C is equal to 10 by 2 omega into square root of R square plus 2 omega LL square. And voltage ripple factor we got as root 2 by 3 times of 1 by 2 omega square LC minus 1. So let us first calculate the value of the capacitance. So capacitance will be 10 divided by 2 into omega. Omega is 2 pi f. So 2 pi into 50 square root of R. Resistance value is 20 ohms given. So 20 square plus 2 omega, 2 into 2 pi into 50 into. So I have to calculate the value of C, right? LL value is given here 5 millihenry. So LL I have given here. So square. So if you simplify this, you will get the value of C as 786.135 microfarads. So C is obtained. So substitute in the formula of voltage ripple factor. So voltage ripple factor is given as a 10%. So 0.1 is equal to root 2 by 3 times of 1 by 2 omega. That means 2 into 2 pi f whole square into the value of L is unknown, C is known. So that C I have substituted here 786.135 into 10 to the power of minus 6 because it is microfarads minus 1. So when you simplify this for the value of L, you will get it as 18.41 millihenry. So in this way we have to design the circuit. So first we have to see what is my value of the load impedance. For the corresponding value of the load impedance, calculate the value of the C, optimal value of the C. Once the C is obtained, depending on how much value of the ripple component is allowed, that means how much voltage ripple factor is allowed, accordingly we will calculate the value of L. So with this I am completing the filter circuits as well as the converters. So next class onwards we are going to start different thyristor families and what are the commutation circuits and complete details of the thyristor circuits. So after that we will proceed for the remaining topics, because in order to go for the remaining topics we should know the complete basics about the characteristics of different type of thyristors and how the forced commutation can be done, what are the different commutation circuit, how to protect the thyristor. All these basics are required. So I will complete them first, after that I will go for remaining topics. So if you still have any queries related to this topic, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. I will answer to your queries from there. Thank you very much.